High alert, high alert. Things are breaking. This is an amazing time. I don't know why I get so giddy during the craziness, but I mean, look at this. Look at this down here. This line. This let's write it out here. But the bond market, the yields going parabolic over the last week or two, and no sign of stopping with the debt negotiations going on. The yield in the 10-year U.S. Treasury continued to climb, reaching 3.8%, marking a new high since March 9th. So, coming up on 3 months, 2.5 months, as investors processed stronger than anticipated economic data and closely monitored developments related to the U.S. debt ceiling negotiations. Jobless claims remained at levels indicative of a relatively tight labor market, leaving room for potential interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve. Additionally, the first quarter GDP growth was revised upward to 1.3%. So the negotiations, the debt ceiling, we've already talked about this many times. It doesn't matter either way. This stuff's going to happen whether they default or not. The U.S. has defaulted many times, soft defaults, taking us off the gold standard, taking the Silverado coins, and on and on and on. The bailouts in 08, 09. That was really the end. That was the beginning of the end. Oh, wait. That was, and I got my cypherpunk cinema hat on. This is my buddy JD and in LA and putting together videos, putting together shows about Satoshi, about Bitcoin and free money and hard money and freedom, property, and wealth, individual rights. So watch out for this. We're gonna have more of this going forward, by the way. And so this is the crux of the problem is that when you have these rates continuing to rise, it starts crippling everything. And we have going through this trifecta, the big three here, to understand what's truly going on and where the market is going, because everything is derived from the credit market, period, and the dollar. So that's why we never look at equities. Equities doesn't matter. Like, who cares? Why are we even focusing on that, right? When we have the actual thing. As a society, we put band-aids on bullet holes. So let's look at what's actually causing the issues and what's actually happening. The credit market seizing up, whatever. It's the DXY. I mean, look at this, 104.3. Look at this. Look at this move since May 8th. So what, 3 weeks now or so? Absolutely parabolic as well. So a massive move up here in the dollar strengthening. Obviously, as people sell out of bonds, the value goes down and the rates go up. They're inverse, and meaning people are pulling their cash out. They're largely sitting in probably cash because we can see here in a minute they're not really going into some other stuff. Some of the other commodities, some of those have actually sold off. So that's critical when we understand, hey, things are looking a little bit sketchy. The market's getting a little bit scared. The Fed's going to be have to be on high alert here, and the potential for pivot and liquidity being pumped back in the system is massive. Really big chance here, because when it starts getting up here to 105, 110, and you start getting up to 4% on the 10-year Treasury, the alarm bells are really going off and things start crashing. This is when Sri Lanka collapses, when the UK pound sterling collapsed. So you got to be on the lookout. And look here again, we have crude oil crashing down a little bit, and we had this huge crash over the last year. So this is why we need to pay attention to this. And this is why, at the end of the day, we can't do anything about this. And this is why we talk about all the time becoming sovereign, becoming the sovereign individual, buying Bitcoin, buying gold, buying silver, food, energy, water, energy, storage, seeds, gardening, increasing your skills, lead, ammo, firearms, land, and building your community. This is the number one thing we can do. This is the game. Because then you can sleep well at night. Then you can know, hey, even if stuff hits the fan, even my portfolio, my 60/40, my brutal ETF laden and insurance laden retirement portfolio, my 401ks, my pension goes kaput, because it's going to. It might not do it tomorrow, might not do it 6 months from now, but it will over the next 6 years, next 16 years. It's going to go to zero. It's going to go to zero in real inflation adjusted returns and in value. It's going to, because the dollar is collapsing. The dollar is dying. It's the fiat Titanic going down. We've shown this over and over again. And when you look at what's actually happening, when you look at something like pricedinbitcoin21.com, here you go, guys. Here's the dollar dying. A house used to cost you $221,000 10 years ago, a median price house. Now it costs you $493,000. Well, good luck with that. That's why no one can afford anything, because they printed so much currency. It's now over 2 times the amount of dollars you need to find than it was 10 years ago. But in Bitcoin, in hard money, something where there's actually less Bitcoin over time, you now, instead of having to find whatever that is, I don't even know what that is, 3.8 billion Bitcoin or whatever that is, or million. Now you need 2 billion sats. Sorry, sats. These are sats. I was gonna say that doesn't make sense. So these are in sats. So you need 2 billion. So now you need just 20 Bitcoin, where here you needed hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin. Well, now you need 20 Bitcoin. So you see, if you're holding one Bitcoin, your purchasing power grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. Where if you're holding a dollar, a liability that you think is an asset, you have to find more of the dollars to buy the same home. These are the same home. So you can see this convergence here, or the convergence eventually, and then the divergence. So you have to hold assets, a finite asset for your finite time. The only thing I know of is Bitcoin. So name me something else, please. I've been looking for something else. This is why people get poorer and poorer over time, because they're holding liabilities that fiat currencies they think is an asset, and it's not. It's a liability. This is why people continually get poorer. And let's see, is Bitcoin running? Is it running? Hopefully it is. We hope it is. Let's see here. Where's it being mined? There we go. So it looks like 13 minutes ago, a block came in. Beautiful, amazing, auditable, working, running, consistent. Here we go. Perfect. Running. It's beautiful. As Nolan Bowerly always says, the sun is up. As predicted, Bitcoin is running, unlike the banking system. So we're going to go over this every day, because eventually more and more people will start seeing this every day and saying, oh my gosh, wow, this is crazy. That Bitcoin is working as planned every single day. And the issuance, the money issuance, the Bitcoin issuance is totally planned up until 2140 when it goes to zero and it's all out into the public. It's beautiful. We know the issuance, unlike the Fed. We know the system's running, unlike the banking system. This is why we have Bitcoin. So those are the big three. Now we have the global liquidity indicator. So things have been tightening up a little bit because we have silver down below $23 an ounce now. Wild, wild. And I love silver still. Love silver. We've got silver in vaults around the world. You keep some on you, buried in the yard, buried in other places and safes, whatever. And I would sprinkle all over the place. And I protect with a lot of firearms. So that's, I'm afraid to put myself out there because you're never going to find it, and I protect myself very well. Gold, same thing. Have some gold. Get outside the system. Get outside the system. Bitcoin, 26 and a half. Get it while it's on sale. You got Bitcoin on sale, cheap. Gold and silver, cheap. I would allocate way more Bitcoin than I would go to gold and silver. But that's me. I want the fastest horse in the game. And I want the trends. I want technology on my side. I want everything on my side. So this is not financial advice. It's freedom advice. Please share this out, because the algorithm hates truth. The algorithm hates truth. Hates it. Question everything's boldness, even the existence of God himself. It's the only thing we can do. So get prepared. Get prepared. There's only so much we can do, right? There's only so many things we can do. So let's see what in the world could be going on that we truly need to see here. Because being prepared is the first step. The first step towards being that sovereign individual, being prepared. You have to be, that's the only way to get government out of your life. By the way, Vivek, saw him in Miami, great speech. RFK, great speeches. Tulsi Gabbard, phenomenal speeches. I mean, these are phenomenal. We have entered really we have crossed the Rubicon now. People are starting to incept freedom money into the conscience of people. So, I mean, this is the clown world we live in, right? LinkedIn censors presidential candidate who says fossil fuel is required for prosperity. That's literally fact. Go look at Alex Epstein's book. Go look at his book and Fossil Future. And it literally has all the facts there. But again, we don't live in a world of facts. Postmodernism is a world of emotion and a world of manipulation. And that's the world we live in, unfortunately. We used to live in a more fact-based world, and we don't. We don't use nature's law or first principles anymore. That's not how our school system is designed. The government-run schools don't teach people that. So when you actually look at all the countries in the world who use the most energy, they're the most prosperous. I mean, just look at North Korea, who uses very little energy, and all their citizens are completely oppressed. And it's sad. I mean, it's beyond sad. I don't mean to laugh, but this is such a simple thing. It's like the gun debate and gun arguments. The facts are so obvious and so common sense that it breaks the average person's brain, because they've been so broken by media and government-run schools, government-run media, government-run schools, and broken government-run currencies that they can't see straight. They have BBD. They've got broken brain disease. So they have a very hard time seeing and making sense of things. So that's why we need to get prepared. That's why we need to educate. That's why we need to continually spread the message, because the algorithm hates truth. It's the only way we're gonna defeat the one world government crew, and we're going to defeat the people that are trying to keep you from your freedom. And at the end of the day, really what that means is you not having property rights, wealth, and money that isn't inflated away and stolen from you. If you have your money and you're getting wealthier over time, then you're less dependent on government, and they hate that. They don't want that. That's why we talk so much about money. That's why we talk so much about Bitcoin, because it is the vector into exploding your wealth and into minimizing the role of alphabet soup agencies and governments and world leaders everywhere who don't have anything of your interest in mind. They have their interest in mind. So I appreciate you. Please share this out. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one.